Hi, I'm Peter Hogan, and in this video I'm going to tell you how you can make a lot of money from the recession that will come about through the coronavirus pandemic. Now, since the beginning of March, I've been predicting the coronavirus pandemic and how it would affect the economy, in that it will cause a global recession. I've been extremely accurate in that all my predictions came true. But what I want to talk about here is how we can profit from the recession and make a lot of money. The thing is, change equals opportunity, and there are a few bigger changes in life than a recession. Think back to the recession of 2008. Banks were in trouble, which meant that businesses couldn't borrow and they failed or laid off staff. People couldn't pay their mortgages and banks were forced to repossess. The housing market was hit very badly. People couldn't sell their homes because would-be buyers couldn't buy them because they couldn't get mortgages. There was a glut of below-value properties that no one could buy unless they had the cash. However, I did find a way of profiting from this situation, and in the first 7 months of 2011 I acquired 48 properties, and the most I paid for any property was just £55. It's a strategy that works in any economic climate, but it's particularly suited to a recession, and I'm going to be using it again in this coming recession. Now, keep watching to the end of the video because I'm going to tell you how I did it, what I'll be doing this time around, and how you can do it too. Now, the problem was that people couldn't take advantage of the glut of BMV properties on the market because they couldn't get mortgages, so they did nothing, and they let a massive opportunity pass them by. The key to success here is knowing that you don't have to buy property to profit from it. You just have to control it. As Donald Trump says, own nothing, control everything. Now, he accrued a massive portfolio in Manhattan without actually buying anything and became a billionaire in the process. So we're not going to buy any properties, we're going to control them. But how will that work? And where will we find them? Okay, here's a strategy. Now, you know that thousands of people have their homes repossessed during a recession. Repossessions occur at any time, of course, but much more so during a recession. That represents a massive number of possible deals, and we're going to take advantage of it. We're going to take control of those properties before they get repossessed using a contract called a lease option. Now, I'll explain quickly what a lease option contract is. Now, using the contract, you lease a property for a particular term, let's say 5 years. That term is known as the option period. Now, at any time during the option period, you have the option to buy the house at today's value, not the value it may be in, say, 5 years' time. Now, you don't have to buy it, but if you want to, the homeowner can't refuse. Also, you can just sell the property onto someone else as an agent and take the profit without having to pay stamp duties, etc. Now, the contract itself is assignable, so you can sell the contract onto someone else. You also have a power of attorney over the property, so you can do anything you like with it, subject to planning and building regs, of course. You can rebuild, add extensions, whatever you like, and the owner can't object. Of course, you have to pay a monthly fee, but that is just a monthly mortgage payment. You just pay the homeowner's monthly mortgage for them, and you won't get a cheaper way of paying for a property. Now, I recently sent out a series of daily emails to my list where I made my predictions about what I thought was going to happen and my strategy for making money during the following recession. And I think it might be a good idea to just reproduce them here. They're all as written, they're not edited in any way. Here we go. So the first one went like this. Day 1, coronavirus, the start of the recession. Warren Buffett predicted 2 years ago that a major global recession was due, and there are worldwide fears that the coronavirus outbreak could trigger one. Economies around the world are starting to be badly affected and stock markets are tumbling. The Dow Jones lost 12% last week and the UK stock market lost 11%. Average losses globally of 10%. Moody analysts have reported a 40% chance that a global recession will occur and say that the likelihood will increase as the virus continues to spread and take hold. It's a sobering thought and one that you should be paying attention to. For example, is your job recession-proof? What would happen if you were laid off and couldn't find employment? Could you still afford your home and car? Could you exist on benefits payments? Would you even want to? As Warren Buffett says, it's only when the tide goes out that you see who's been swimming naked. You need contingency plans, and the good news about a recession is that it always creates millionaires. I've traded through 3 major recessions now, and I've always made more money during a recession than I'd ever did in the boom times. And I will in the next recession too. And so could you, but not if you don't do anything. I can help you set up your property business in a way that operates whatever the economy, but that can make you a millionaire from the recession. Now that's something you should find very interesting indeed. Watch out for my next email tomorrow when I explain how you can become a millionaire in the next recession, starting with very little cash. Bye for now. Okay, remember that these went out at the beginning of March, long before we know what happened since. So day 2, coronavirus, the start of the recession. Hello again. So, could this coronavirus outbreak trigger the next global recession? Well, the big problem will be if the coronavirus hits pandemic status. That will massively disrupt the movement of people and goods around the world, and in fact that's already starting to happen. The 2008 recession was a demand recession because of the banking situation, money was tight, people were losing their jobs, and the demand for goods and services declined dramatically. This new recession will be a supply recession. Businesses will be affected in their ability to supply goods and services to other businesses and the public, but the effect will be the same. The money flow will be affected and businesses will slow down, with the inevitable result of job losses. Inevitably, the housing market will be hit, with sales suffering badly, resulting in a glut of below market value properties, coupled with a huge increase in bank repossessions. As in the last recession, as mortgages become harder to get, investors will be unable to take advantage of the BMV situation unless they are cash rich. Even worse, the investors with buy-to-let mortgages on interest-only payments will have a real problem if their mortgage term finishes during the recession, particularly if they are highly geared, and that's remortgaged and taking all the equity out. They will need to either pay off their existing mortgage or remortgage, and that may not be possible, particularly as they may now be in negative equity because of the declining house values. Obviously, bankruptcy looms. It happened before and it can happen again. However, it's not all doom and gloom by a long way. The recession offers an enormous opportunity to make a lot of money with very little, if any, startup capital, and could easily make people into millionaires, depending on the length and the severity of the recession. But you need to be ready for it, and that means starting now. Look out for my next email tomorrow. It's getting better. Day 3, coronavirus, the start of the recession. Hello again. You know, change always brings opportunity, and the next recession won't be any different. The opportunity will be there to build a massive property portfolio for very little cash. How? Well, let's look at the housing market. There's no doubt that there will be casualties, and one of the biggest areas will be in bank repossessions. During the last recession, there were thousands of homes being repossessed every week, as there have been for all recessions. Now, being repossessed is obviously traumatic for the family involved, so much so that it often results in a breakup of the family unit and bankruptcy. Now, the banks hate having to repossess too. It costs them money and it's bad press. It doesn't matter that they'll receive a lump sum from the sale of the repossessed property, and that's if they can find a buyer, because the way the system is set up, they make more money from the payments coming in than from a lump sum. So, enter the investor. There's an opportunity here to help the about to be repossessed homeowner using the power of a lease option contract. You can stop the repossession with no fees to the homeowner. You basically piggyback the mortgage using a lease option contract, making the mortgage payments for them. Yes, they'll still have to move out of their home, but at least they won't have the stigma of repossession and possible bankruptcy hanging over them, and there will be an opportunity further down the line for them to get back on the property ladder again. You have helped them out of a bad situation and they're happy. The bank is happy too. You've helped them out of a legal situation, a messy repossession and losing money. And you're happy because you've just acquired a property with no cash outlay and you're not even paying rent. You're just paying the mortgage and the homeowners love you for it. Now this isn't theory, it works because I've done it. I have completed 96 lease option deals now, and during the last recession I completed 48 lease option deals in just 7 months. And the most I paid for any property, remember, was just £55. Yes, I made a lot of money and you can too. If you'd like to work with me and have me help you set up your business, look out for my next email tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh, by the way, if you think this is good, believe me when I tell you that it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a way to massively upgear this business to make huge profits. Day 4, coronavirus, the start of the recession. Hello again. So you understand that you can build a massive property portfolio for practically no money using lease option contracts, right? The question you're probably asking is, yeah, but where do I find them all? Well, you can certainly get them through estate agents, although to be fair, not hundreds, which is what you want. But you could easily get 3 or 4 in no time, which I can show you how to do. And that is the start of the property avalanche. The point to remember here is that you're helping homeowners out of a difficult situation. It's not about you, it's about them. Now once you have 3 or 4 option deals under your belt, you can now approach debt advice agencies such as the Citizens Advice Bureau. Now many people about to be repossessed will contact the Bureau for advice, mainly because it's free. However, the Bureau can't do anything practical to stop a repossession. They can only offer advice. Now, if you were to approach them explaining that you are able to stop repossessions with no fees to the homeowner and you have 3 or 4 live testimonials to vouch for you, you could demonstrate how you can do this and ask if they will be prepared to recommend you to a client as a test case. Now obviously at this point you would need to be a legitimate business with a fully compliant website for this to work, and I can help you with that. Now you only have to have 1 completed project and a happy debtor to have the Bureau refer more to you. Now you're on a roll. With the Citizens Advice Bureau referring repossession cases to you, you can contact any agency or solicitors in the country and you can expect to have many, many new deals. Can you see the potential here? If you're serious about making money, if you're serious about changing your life, I can help you. Watch out for my email tomorrow where I'll explain how even this landslide of deals is peanuts to what you can get. See you there. Day 5, coronavirus, the start of the recession. Okay, you now know that you can get repossession referrals from debt advice agencies provided you do it right. That alone can make you very wealthy during the recession. But you want more. You want to be a millionaire, right? Well, you can be. And here's how it works. Let's get down to basics. What do you think a bank's view of repossessing homeowners is? They hate it, is the answer. Repossessions cost the banks a lot of money. They never get full market price for the properties, and that's if they can even sell them during a recession. And anyway, lump sums don't help banks financially. They need the monthly payments coming in. The way the mortgage side of the banking system is set up, that's where they make the money. Not only that, but there's a huge amount of bad press related to repossessions, and the banks can do without it. Yes, they will do pretty well anything to avoid repossessions. Now, once you start building a portfolio of happy homeowners referred by debt advice agencies, you can now approach the banks with a solution to their problem. Imagine you've helped, say, 7 homeowners with mortgages at Lloyds Bank. You can now approach Lloyds Bank with a solution to their repossession problem, explaining how you work and how you have successfully helped X amount of homeowners referred to you by the Citizens Advice Bureau. Now yes, they may well be sceptical at first, but when you show them details of some of their own customers that you have successfully helped over the last 8 to 12 months and who the bank didn't have to repossess, they are certainly going to look into it. You need just one successful referral from a bank for the floodgates to open. You can now approach every bank mortgage company in the country, and as you've set a precedent with Lloyds, why would they say no? Imagine all those banks and mortgage companies referring their repossession cases to you. The sheer scale and the numbers is mind-boggling. Your millionaire status is assured. And remember that repossessions don't stop when the recession ends. You have a massive business for life. Do I need to say any more? Now, you either have the vision and enthusiasm to succeed in a way you never thought possible, and possibly with me as your business partner, or you are limiting your wealth strategy to a few rent-to-rents. By the way, there is nobody in the country using this strategy, so this is a massive opportunity. But also, you don't have to go the whole route of using banks. You can restrict yourself to, say, just local debt advice agencies. You can scale your business to be as large or as small as you like. Click the link or copy it into your browser to contact me, and we can set up a phone call where you can learn all about this opportunity. I look forward to hearing from you. Next email. The recession. Has it started? For the last few days we've been mailing you about the coronavirus being the catalyst for the next recession. Yesterday the big news was about the Denvisa Flybe, Europe's largest regional airline. Apparently the trigger was a cancellation and lack of bookings due to the coronavirus. The ramifications and knock-on effects of this is huge, no doubt, and many other businesses and individuals will suffer. It's not looking too good, is it? So, how safe is your job? Maybe, just maybe, yesterday's developments have been the kick up the bum that you needed to take the action you need to take to protect yourself. Remember what I said, change always provides opportunity and the recession provides plenty of both. The recession will help a lot of people become millionaires or at the very least extremely wealthy. Why don't you become one of them? You know what to do. Reply to this mail and we'll set up a phone call where you can ask me anything you want. Peter. P.S. This is your golden opportunity. Don't let the recession turn into your depression. Next email. What will it take to make you sit up and take notice? It's getting worse by the day. The news this morning was that now over 16 million people are quarantined in Italy. Sports events are being played in empty stadiums, even if they're going ahead at all. People are panic buying and the number of empty shelves in the supermarket grows daily. It will get worse before it gets better. The fear is that this will turn into a pandemic and cause a global recession. It's already looking like that. The question is, what are you doing about it? If the answer is nothing, for whatever reason, then you need to wake up and smell the coffee. Everybody is affected by a recession to one degree or another, and that includes you. Don't think for 1 minute that the company you work for won't get rid of you if it has to. It will. And then what will you do? Look, I'm not being alarmist here, I'm trying to be realistic. You need to get your finger out and start planning for the worst happening. You need to start making alternative incomes, your plan B. Luckily, I can help you with that. And then here I just got on to talk about a multiple streams of income workshop that I was holding. So, next mail. Did you think I was kidding? Whatever the eventual outcome will be, there is no doubt that the problems caused by the coronavirus are spiralling. 2 days ago, the talk was all about the 16 million Italians who have been quarantined. Today, the whole of Italy is under lockdown. Stock markets are in freefall. The oil markets are in disarray. There are now real warnings of a global recession. It will get worse before it gets better. Whether or not this results in a recession in the UK is irrelevant. The important lesson to be learned and remembered here is just how quickly things can change. And please don't think that just because you're employed that you're safe. If your sole source of income is your wage/salary, you are exposed. You are vulnerable and complacency can ruin you. You need to set up alternative sources of income right away. Even if a recession doesn't happen, think how much better your life will be with 2x, 3x or 4 times your present income level. You owe it to yourself and your family to get your finger out and get a plan B. Because it's amazing how often a plan B becomes your plan A. The good news is that I can help you. Just reply to this email and we can set up a phone call when you can ask me anything you want. It could just be the smartest thing you ever did. So, just how deadly is coronavirus? There's a lot of scaremongering going on and the press are having a field day, and no doubt selling many more copies of their papers. Here's something I found out just today. Between the 1st of October 2019 and 29th of February 2020, 34 million to 49 million people have been infected. 350,000 to 620,000 hospitalisations. 20,000 to 52,000 deaths. And that's just in the USA. No, not coronavirus, influenza. The flu returns every year between October and May and kills thousands upon thousands of people worldwide. Do we panic about that? No. Have you ever had the flu? I have. Not nice, but it didn't kill me. In fact, it only kills the very young and the old, particularly if they have underlying medical issues, just like coronavirus. I think we're building this coronavirus up into something more than it is. I predict that it will disappear as quickly as it came and find to be no worse than the flu. In the meantime, the world is going into lockdown. Businesses will fail and countless people will become bankrupt. Tourism will be decimated. Economies will struggle and crash. But, as I always say, times of change bring opportunity. What will you be, a victim or a survivor? Will you be self-isolating at home, wearing a face mask and hugging your stash of toilet rolls? Or will you be taking advantage of the opportunities presented by the virus? I know what I'll be doing. Reply to this mail if you want to know more. And the next mail. I predicted it, but... Hi, if you read my emails over the last couple of weeks, you'll know that I was predicting a global recession because of the coronavirus outbreak. But even I am surprised at the speed of it. I'm also predicting that the virus will disappear as quickly as it came. But the problem is that even if it totally disappeared today, the effects of the shutdowns and supply chains folding will still carry on and exacerbate the recession. It's a juggernaut and it can't be stopped. But, as I outlined in my previous mails, change presents opportunities. And there will be a massive opportunity coming along in the housing market. I've traded through 3 major recessions and always made more money in the recession than I ever did in the boom times. Adapt or die, as the saying goes. Some people will go under during this recession, but equally, some people will become millionaires. Life isn't about seeing or recognising opportunities, it's about taking the right action when you do. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, making lots of money. Want to join me? Reply to this email and let's set up a phone call. Peter. P.S. This is where you make that decision, your moment of truth. It's time to stand up and be counted. Next email. Crazy, crazy, crazy. If you thought I was exaggerating 2 weeks ago when I warned about the recession because of the coronavirus, maybe the content of today's news stories will change your mind. From today, whole families have to self-isolate for 14 days if a family member gets a sniffle. Can you imagine that? If you don't receive sick pay from work, who pays the bills? How do you go out to buy food? What about businesses trying to survive with most of their employees off? And you can bet that some people will take advantage of that and take a 2-week fully paid holiday at home. And just wait till they close the schools. Who looks after the kids? It's ridiculous, but exactly what I predicted. And it will get worse before it gets better. Businesses will close, no doubt. People will lose their jobs, no doubt. People will get into debt, no doubt. The housing market will suffer massively, no doubt. It's going to be 2008 all over again. Repossessions going through the roof. Property prices tumbling. The market flooded with BMW properties that no one can buy because the money supply will tighten. But in the darkness there is light. Change means opportunity, and yes, some people will benefit and become wealthy because of this repossession. You could be one of them. Reply to this email and we will set up a phone call when I will explain exactly how. And you know, today it's even worse. Forget just Italy in lockdown, France, Spain, Germany, Czech Republic, entire cities in America, all locked down, and it's pretty well going to happen in the UK as well. It's getting worse by the hour. Well, I hope you found those series of emails interesting. If you'd like to receive my emails, then just click on the link below and I'll make sure you get them. You can see that they're full of content and very useful to have. You know, there's no doubt that some people will maximise their potential during these hard times, and you should be one of them. Now, I can help you to make the most of this. I can help you to set up your business, show you how to find deals, teach you how to negotiate them, teach you all about the contracts and how they work, how to get in touch with the debt advice bureaus, how to get in with the banks, and how to build a massive property portfolio starting with very little cash. Oh, and incidentally, you don't need a great credit rating to use this strategy. In fact, even bankrupts can use it. Even better is that if you show yourself to be good at what you're doing, you'll get the opportunity to joint venture with me and become my business partner. Click the link just below the video. There's a form on the site you'll go to where you can send me a message. If you're serious about your welfare and you want to make a real difference in your life, get back to me. Send me a message, send me an email, and we can arrange a phone call when you can ask me anything you want. This is your opportunity. Don't let it slip.